Hey, sorry it took so long. I had to make sure I had my scene. I lost it for a second. How's everybody doing? I don't know if anybody's in. I haven't seen anybody in the chat, but that's all right. If you're here, just say hey in the chat, just so I can kind of get a head count. That would be great. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start. So where we left off was this fella diving, twisting, and doing a little bit of a pop up and a little bit of a walkout. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna keep going. I think to start, we're still at the really early blocking phase, but to start, I'm going to start working on the arms. So let's bring those arms back. Right, our first pose right here. This looks pretty good, but I'm going to do a rough hand placement. Or finger placement, I guess. So you'd be reaching, so it's not far off. I just want to get away from the paddle hands. It's real unsightly pose, right? So the default hand poses are not posed out. So that's going to be one of the first things you want to really kind of focus. Not first things, but you should definitely put a lot of focus into um, posing out the fingers and really taking the time to make them read well. Put some effort into making the hands read well. I mean, we have them right in front of our face, right? So we can just use our hands as reference. It shouldn't, there's no need for it to be, something that's overlooked. And I mean, it tends to be just because, it's the hands. We think that not a lot of people really pay attention to them. I mean, when was the last time you watched a movie and were like, "Oh, those hands are great," but you could be a rare person like me because I pay attention to hands a lot. I love hands. I love when people put attention and detail into the hands and fingers. Which one is gonna give me what I want? Nullify. Guess that's the best I'm gonna get. So I'm trying to look at the. I guess what I'll do actually. I should draw out the arc, but I don't have the means of doing so. I'll just try it out right here. This is about the time when I'll use a Sharpie on my computer screen, but that doesn't help you guys much, does it? So I'm going to use the grease pencil. Just to kind of help plot out. I mean, it's not. We'll probably alleviate from this path, but something to follow for now. All right. So work on the shoulders, dropping those down, kind of get them framed up. Sort of bend the elbow to help us get this curve. And we're going to keep the palms flat with the chest. So the chest is this way. So what I want to do is keep the palms that way, but just to kind of flavor it up a little bit, I'm going to kind of off kilter it. I wonder if I can just copy. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Okay. I wasn't paying attention to my, where I had all my keys set. So I'm going to throw that back real fast. I'm going to change back my tangents to flat and stepped. Hold on one sec. I'm going to pause this, stop streaming real quick. Hold on.
Hey guys.
Sorry guys, I don't know if this streaming is working, so if you can hear me, give me 1 second. If not, I am working on it. So maybe it is working. Yeah, I think it is working. Okay. I was just getting an error when I was trying to view it on my end. Um, so I just wanted to make sure that that was correct. So maybe it is working. Yeah, I think it is working. Okay. I was just getting an error when I was trying. Is there anybody that can, if there's anybody here, just let me know that you are here and you can see the video. Just Wondering if the link that I set worked or not. Just wondering if the link that I set worked or not. Anybody? Is anybody here? Just wondering if the link that I set worked or not. Anybody? Is anybody here? Just wondering if the link that I set worked or not. All right. Anybody? Is anybody here? I guess I can just press on. All right. I don't know why the video is not working on my end, but I see that it's recording in the live session on YouTube. So I'm just going to take that. I guess I can just hopefully it works. If not,
I don't
I
know why the video is
apologize.
not working
And
on my end,
you
but
couldn't see this anyway, so it doesn't really
I see
matter.
that it's
But
recording in the live session
all right, I'm going
on
to keep going.
YouTube. So
Let me turn off
I'm just going to take that.
stream so
I guess I can just
hearing an echo.
hopefully it works.
If not,
I don't
I
know why the video is
apologize.
not
And
working on my end,
you
but
couldn't see this anyway, so it doesn't really
I see
matter.
that it's recording in the live.
Okay, sorry. Back to it. Okay, talking about the hands. Let's move those over. Right. So we have the arc set. I want to kind of ball them up a little bit more, so I'm going to rotate the shoulders in. Right now I'm looking at the AnimCam. I just kind of want to. I don't know. I'm going to be able to, but I want to get rid of this bulb right here in his back. But I'm not entirely sure I can. Which is fine. I mean, it's not a break it kind of thing. I guess I could just raise it up and kind of split the difference. There we go. That's good. That's good. Let's do that. All right, so we're gonna try and copy over these curves. Copy. I don't think it worked. Tends to not work very well with the copy and paste on these rigs. It's a little skewed, but we can work from there. It gives us a place to work from, let's say. All right. I just think I need to reverse or flip some curves. That's all. Yep. So looking at it, it looks like I need to flip the rotate X. If I flip the rotate X and the Y, let's try the X and the Y. Translate X and the Y. Let's try that. Translate X, or sorry, Z. Yeah, something. All right, let's try it again. I think it was the X and the Y. Boy, that. Yep. All right. Okay. X, Y. Good enough. All right. Same thing. Gonna kind of keep it parallel to the chest, but also kind of skew it off a little bit. I'm gonna maybe adjust the pose a little bit more to make it more graphically appealing in the pose, so might actually just curl it in. Because I want this funnel type shape, looking at it. I think I like the head. I want to, I'm trying to think of a way to make it look like the head's leading. And I mean, this action is going to be so fast, we might not even really see it. But if I can skew the head off just a little bit, it might throw attention to the fact that he's really spinning his head around to get to that pose. Cool. Ba, ba, ba. Oh, hold on. Oh, I messed up. Dang. Okay. Accidentally copied over. All right, this is what we're going to do. So I made a mistake a little bit ago. Remember when I keyed on the wrong frame and then am I undoing right now? Yeah, I am. All right. I didn't mean to be. I thought I was redoing, but I guess I was undoing. Let's pray that I have enough undos to take us back to where we were. Yes. Yes. Okay. So obviously that's a different frame. I should have copied it here, and then threw it back to 19. My bad. Or was it 16? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We didn't really do any timing stuff yet, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So now we got to do that all over again. That's all right. It's part of the job. You're going to be doing stuff over and over and over again. All right, 1 second, guys. I'm going to check my email, make sure I didn't get anything from AnimDojo saying, your stream's not working. What are you doing? 1 second. Okay. Back to it. Okay. Gonna bring the hands a little bit closer together. I'm going to try and copy all of the keys and throw them over, because now I know which controls need to be flipped. So it should make things easier. So I know is rotate Y. Translate Y, translate Z, and then rotate. Okay. Cool. Looking like a child. Be a little bit too much. I want to mirror that look, basically, in a way that's as graphic. But with these hands, it's a bit hard to get something like that. So now he's upside down. Take the arm controls. I just want to copy them over. Obviously, that's not what we want, but it's a starting point. His head's obviously skewed and would be broken, but not really going for realism here, you know what I mean? It's still a cartoon. So we can push limitations, especially at really fast speeds. Keep palms in. Hopefully I'm not going too crazy with the values. I don't want to put myself in a position of, you know, um, some really annoying gimbal lock. But that's height. Right, so I'm gonna copy these again, these controls. Grab the armor controls, go back to that frame I like, stamp it, see what that gives me. Nothing much, it's okay. Right, so how would our arms be placed? That is the question. So if you're landing on your hands and you're compacting, it would be pretty, yeah, I think it would be bent. I already know the spacings a bit off. I'm gonna have to push him forward a lot more. Do somewhat of the same thing on this side. So the arm's bending that way. He's upside down. So I already am anticipating gonna have some gimbal to work out. So I'm not gonna be too precious. Because again, this is gonna be a pretty fast kind of performance. So I'm not too worried about having to go in and re-rotate and all that stuff. So what I'm gonna have to do is translate him forward quite a bit. Translate Z, translate Z. Come on now. All right, here's a little thing that I do. So if I stamp a key in the middle, why is it still? Did I not save it last time? Okay. I stamp a key in the middle. Then I adjust this key. If I adjust this key to the position, excuse me. So a little bit further just for safety. Right. So now I have the key of where I was at. So if I grab all of these and I stamp it, move the keys over, mirroring or favoring the previous key 100%, which I can do, I think, with my blend neighbor. No, not with that one. Which one is it? There's one of these that I use. Blend above or blend default. Maybe this one. Where'd it go? I grab all the keys that I want to blend to the left. I'm trying to figure it out because I actually have a hotkey set for it, and I don't remember which one of these it was, or if it was any of these at all. Blend to ease, maybe? Nope. Okay, so if you don't have the hotkey set, you can just go in and eyeball, select all the ones preceding, eyeball it over, and then just get it as close as you can, and then just copy this key to this key. Or actually, no, sorry, you don't even need a copy. Just get it as close as you can to each one of those values, each one of those channels and controls, and then just delete. Oops, come on now. Translate Z, and then just delete the middle key, and then you'll be set. It's gonna feel a lot better when we put in an antic. Right, so back to the arms. So I'm trying to alleviate as much gimbal as I can by copying the previous key, right? Because then I can get a good idea of where the bends are, and okay, he's bending that way, so this hand would drag behind. What I could do is recycle the hand pose that I had earlier. Say this one, what is it, 32? Oh, 28. Right, so we're doing a lot of shortcuts, which is good. Shortcuts are good. So we have some penetrations going on, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. It's just something I'm not going to be able to avoid, um, that's all right. And I'm always trying to offset, right? I don't want to just copy and mirror one side to the other. It's not how it works, you know. Our limbs don't act perfectly mirrored of each other, you know. There's some offset that happens. So one hand's going to be going faster than the other, or one hand's going to be traveling farther than the other, you know. Swivel. It's not a good one. Swivel toe. No. Nope. Excuse me. That's all right. So I just kind of want to go. So now that we have the hands blocked in, let's do our antic down pose or down pose. Just gonna do a simple back because he's gonna come back. Shoulders gonna come up with the arms. I'm gonna bend the chest down too, get a little compression. Get the head looking at where he wants to go. We get him a little bit forward too. Yeah, man, I gotta get that distance. He's not traveling far enough, so translate Z again, do the translate Z trick. Stamping it in between after. Let's get him moving. Oops. Right, so the body we're doing rotate X. Come on down. Redo. Okay. Select all, delete these controls. Come on, 0, enter. No. Yeah, so just getting them up higher. Try and get more of a stretch out of those legs. So with stretchy legs on this rig, doesn't seem to really like um, the auto stretch. Doesn't really seem to ever want to give us perfectly straight legs when we have it turned on. So you're gonna have to adjust those values to kind of get you that straight leg. Same with this one. Raise the body up. Make sure he's looks like he's getting quite a bit of a all right, so let me redraw my arc. Right, crease pencil. I mean, that looks about right. Looks fine. Yeah, that distance feels a lot nicer. Um, and the antic feels good. Right now the speed is a bit off, so let's work on some timing real quick. We'll just shift some keys around. Probably extend this back. So typically when I'm retiming, I kind of try to think in even numbers, so that when I do a breakdown, it's perfect. Excuse me, it's perfectly in the center. Just makes things easier for me. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way, so that's okay. So let's say if I were to do this in two, and then maybe the middle kind of slows, but then once he lands, it speeds up. Just kind of giving us that feeling of hang time, maybe. What sucks is that we're not feeling that spin. I mean, at least not yet. With the blocking, we're not. Um, so I might do it a little slower. I like the idea of speeding this part up, slowing it down and getting the pop up. Cool. Let's go ahead and just break it down even further. Let's see what we get. So again, finding my in-between. There's a good in-between. I'm gonna do a full-on tween machine in between and see what that gives me. And it gives me something very broken. Yes. Um, so now what I'm thinking. All right, so let me think. All right, so actually, we delete this. When he lands, I should keep this and IK because we're gonna be sitting like this for a while. We're gonna have his hands planted on the ground for a while. So this is gonna take some reposing. Something I should have caught. I don't think there's a tool. Excuse me, a tool here for it, which is a bummer. They have a space switcher, which is cool. What do they have an IKFK? I don't think so. At least not what I'm seeing. I'm not finding anything. Maybe. Nope. Okay, so we're just gonna have to brute force and repose this, which is fine. Oh wait, no. What is this? Where is this controller? IK as FK? I don't know what that is. I'm not crazy. Okay, where's that control? Okay, so say we want to put this arm as, okay, there's interesting. Is this the IKFK solution for this guy? I mean, that's cool. Oh, here's the IKFK stuff. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna hide that. I think that's gonna cause us more problems. So what I'm gonna do is the old-fashioned way. I'm just gonna snap it, repose it. Left arm, right arm. Oh, it's so broken. That's right. We're just gonna bring it back and match it up. Try and get what we got before. Let's see, how do we get that? Tuck in those elbows. Come on. Nope, come on. Jeez. Just post some out real quick on this side. We're not gonna be seeing it, so I'm not too worried about cleaning it. Cool. Okay, now that we're in FK, it's gonna suck, but now we gotta do FK, IK. Excuse me. I just woke up. All right, so now we're gonna have to do FK, or be prepared to do FK, IK snapping over a frame, um, which is not gonna be that bad. It's just gonna take a few beats to kind of line them up, but after that, then you're pretty good. If they had an IKFK snapping, I could show you a trick to get it to match up perfectly, but this rig doesn't have any sort of snapping capabilities. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna go back to do the in between. Key that. I think what I'm gonna do though is sort of only in between. Use a tween machine for the body. Not the hands. For the chest and the hip. Cool. It's a good starting point, you know? Take those shoulders. All right, so one thing that I do too, just to kind of make sure I'm in the right track. See if this rig will do it for us. I'll grab the geo and I'll copy and wait to come on. I'll copy and paste. Nope. Wait, I don't want the ground. I don't know why it's saving every time I copy. It's kind of weird. Cool. Okay. I don't know if. All right, that did not work. So I'm gonna undo before things are really, really broken. Oh, which they are. No. All right, let me problem solve real quick. That didn't work out like I wanted it to. That was pretty garbage. Typically, you could grab the geo and just duplicate the geo, and that would just leave a geo piece by itself. You know what I mean? That we could then track. You know, where our landing position, like this is where the hands are going to land, and we can have a visual representation of it. But I totally broke that. Maybe I didn't. Let me try. Let me just see what I can do. Hold on. I'll try and work from this. Maybe I can just work off of this. See, the thing is, now it's following. Stop selecting the ground. Okay. Right. Well, that sucks. This is not what we want. Not sure. Uh, did that break everything? I don't know. I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna delete it. Whatever. Same with this side. That was bad. All right. Let me do a quick repose. Ugh. Okay. One more thing. I'm gonna try one more thing. Okay, if I just grab the geo, just grab the geo. Copy that. And if I paste it, what am I actually doing? Right, so it creates a subgroup at the bottom. Good, okay. It's got all this extra crap that we do not need because we just wanted to do the geo. We just want these. So if I take those out, oops, come on, man. Wait, sorry guys. Um, I'm just curious. Okay, I just want the geo. So I get rid of that. Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's not doing what I want you to do. All right, hopefully I didn't completely break everything. That would suck. Is this another thing that I copied? What is this? Oh, garbage. All right, I think that's that. So what I'm gonna do instead is sphere, create a sphere, and just put that where his hands are, right? Just to tell me, yo, this is where his hands land. His hands land them here. Duplicate it, throw it over. And there's the other side. Okay, hold on. Let me try one more thing. I have the geo selected. I just duplicate it. Ah, that's what I should have done. I was doing stupid copy and paste. Okay. Okay, let me try. First, I'm going to take this and hide this. Or lock it, I mean. All right. One more time. One more time. Okay, one more time. Because this is going to give us a better, obviously a better interpretation because this is the actual object. So it's important that I get that. Duplicate. I'm going to grab all of those out and throw them on its own little spot. And get rid of those spheres. Let's see what's perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay. Note to self and note to everybody else. To do this, just select the geo and control D to duplicate it. Don't copy the geo and paste the geo. Like I said in my last video, I'm no rigger, I'm no smart guy, so obviously that does something more than just duplicating geo. It's copying and pasting the rig controls and creating its own subgroup. It's just too much. Excuse me. So now, anyway, we have a perfect um, positioning of where our hands are going to be. So if we can imagine for a moment, this is all sorts of messed up. I think what I'm going to do is have my snap, have my FK start here, or excuse me, IK start on this frame. Let's try that out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. So just copy these. Come on. Oh, I know what I was doing. Okay. All right. So again, the positioning is gonna change, right? I'm not being too precious about where everything lands. However, I'm not really getting the feeling that I think maybe in this pose he's pushed out a little bit too far. Let me roll him back. Yeah, because if we track the head, it's going up a bit high. So we more back. So the hands are gonna land somewhat like this. Where's the auto stretch? I'm gonna turn on auto stretch. Just oh wow. Oh, that's arm stretch. Okay, auto stretch. Just to help us out a little bit. Sorry, I got all these messages. Okay. This hand is okay. We're trying to keep him straight, so he's starting to veer a bit. do like a 0 here. Actually, that might be fine, but at least here the translate x needs to be zeroed out. Straighten them. Come on. This hand I might just get off the ground around here. Something. Something's happening. Something has happened. We're getting somewhere. Cool. Okay. Just trying to get an idea of what's actually going down. Oops. Again, all this stuff, like we have penetration here and stuff, he's kind of floating over here. I'm not too worried about it now. I'm just looking at my overall arcs and how this is working out because I know that this is going to set the tone. This is what everything's going to be powering from, right? So I just want to make sure that's perfect. Should still be rolling forward. Right, so let me do something. He's starting to go off frame, so I'm just going to rethink his trajectory and where he's starting and going to and coming from and all that. So that gets him back into position, which is good. Or frame, I mean. Cool. Now the hand's all skewed, but again, those are just geos we can duplicate again later. Cool. Kill. Okay. Very complex stuff, and it takes a lot of thought because, again, as I go into spline, I really something like this, I don't want to set myself up to just spend all my time troubleshooting. So if I can do as much as I can at the front end to try and make sense of what all of my curves and all my controls are doing and how they're rotating, it's going to set me up to, you know, uh, not have as much problem, as have as many problems as I would if I didn't. So, um, again, I'm just going to kind of, what I'm going to do is just do select all, key all, and then Tween Machine. Let's see what it gives me. It's not bad. Definitely going to work from this though. I like to do my linear just to get a better representation of what my curves will be doing when I spline it out. I spend some time in the graph editor as I start breaking it down because that's where I'm going to spend a lot of my time when I'm polishing. So I want to get ahead of all that. Sometimes too, what I'll do is I'll select all and I'll do keys convert to breakdown, and then I'll make it green, which will give me a it doesn't actually do anything to the animation or the graph or anything like that. All it really does is highlight this in green instead of red, telling me that this is the key that I just did an in between on. Because as you keep going and you do in between, you're like, what is the key that I just broke down? Like, what is it? What one was I working on? This one or this one? Does you get lost. So this just gives me a visual representation of the key that I'm currently working on. To change it back, you just go to keys and then convert to key, right? Um, so that's all it does for me. That's all I use it for. Yeah, so I might make this a bit more aggressive and really, come on, really turn him into a ball. Why are you scaling? Cool. Okay. So this is the frame we're working on. So rotate X. Let's speed this up. Get him in position a lot faster. No. Step. All right, I'm going to hide the hands again. They are distracting. What if I should hide the head too? What is that? Delete unused layers. Cool. I don't know. Oh, that's the controls. Okay. That's fine. Actually, no, it's not. We can feel the spiral now, so that's good. Use the chest, compress it up. Might just like flatten it out. Oops, come on now. What is negative 360 gonna give us? Something completely wrong. Sort of pops up pretty quick. I do not want that. Let's move these feet forward. Translate Z. Get his body moving forward. So the spacing in the feet, looking at that real quick. I'm going to keep these outstretched because they're going to come in right here. Might start bringing those in closer to the ground. Delay this one a little bit. No, actually. I'm trying to think what would be the most appealing. Since you launched off this foot, I think it's better actually if this one lands first. Ba, 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 ba. Is it negative 180? Take one. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to have this one land first, further back, and this one's going to be forward. Yeah, this one's going to be forward a little bit. Um, Never mind. Doesn't matter. This is fine. I was trying to think of a way to make it a bit appealing because I have this foot landing and then this foot's going to kick up. So I thought it'd be a bit more of an appealing idea to have this foot sort of be tucked back so that we kind of see it pop out from nowhere. You know what I mean? Um, it's an idea I'm still gonna keep. I just will wait until further break it down so I can actually put more thought into it. It's actually a clear idea. I think the feet need to be fixed up. Oh boy. I'm gonna run into some trouble with these feet. Let's do a quick shoot up. He's gonna land. He's gonna shoot himself up. Let me see what. I don't think I'm gonna do tween machine on this one. I'm just gonna eyeball this one. Just trying to think about the arc here, right? Let's bring that head back in. Oops. Just thinking about him like a snake, uncoiling or something. I think there's like a stretch control, yeah. I'm gonna make it faster. Just really get that feeling of a. He's gonna do like this. Yeah. And for this, I wish there was a way to get those knees. Do that. That works. Yeah. Okay. So took us a while, but we got here. So it'd be kind of fun to add some like feeling of his hand or his face warping as he's twisting around. Cool. Didn't get as far as I would have liked to have gotten. Um, so I might do some work in between on this. I'm not sure. Or I might just do another, see if I have room to do another class. Because this is pretty tedious stuff. But you know, once we get it broken down, and then we take it into spline, the polish should be relatively fast because we're achieving a lot um, in the breakdowns to give us the answers that we need. So yeah, I think well, before I go, I think I don't like how he's landing right here. Like should be landing like over here. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's more comfortable. If we look at it from the side, we can get a better idea of our arcs and our spacing and our distance and all that stuff. Okay. All right, same time next week. Hopefully this worked. The video worked. You guys were able to watch it and are able to watch it. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks. See you next.